Going to go from 11th to about 13th in one corner, though, Phil.
That was a kick saving a beauty by Mario.
Hey.
I knew it was going to move to hockey.
From the Nordiques.
I'm heading to Canada when we're done doing this.
Are you?
Yeah. A little dirt racing.
Excellent.
North of the border, eh?
A guy who does a lot of dirt racing, the driver of that number 2, Ken Schrader.
He raced Friday night. He raced Friday night on dirt here locally.
He moved to the outside of the racetrack. He was able to get Crafton by doing so. Now Matt's making a little bit of progress on getting back to Schrader. Let's see what happened to Mario. Just sideways down in the center of the corner.
Had to chase it. Chased it all the way up the hill. Kept it out of the outside fence.
You don't think Starr nudged him, do you?
That was over the tunnel, too. Is there a possibility maybe that bump upset the truck?
Down there in the tunnel turn.
The tunnel turn at Iowa. Mario Gosselin currently running 13th. Again, he was running 10th. He's had a little bit of a problem holding on to that position. As Compton got by, Carmichael up in front of him. David Starr got by him. Ryan Sieg, also in the 39, got by Mario Gosselin. There you see the difference between the 2 and the 88.
Schrader's running in the 4th spot. That's Crafton back in 5th. Krista, what are they saying in the 2 pit?
Well, actually, I happen to know the secret of why Ken Schrader is running so good here. He's never been in a truck at this track, but he was one of the first drivers to actually be on the track. A charity event back in 2006 before the track ever opened. Ken Schrader did some of the first pace laps here at this track. I don't know if it would equal a top 5 finish in a truck, but he's looking pretty good right now.
Very strong, running 4th right now is Ken Schrader, and we see the 88 of Matt Crafton just behind him in the 5th spot.
Austin Dillon jumped out to about a second half to a 2-second lead and then just stayed there.
There's a couple of themes to this race. That black 3 leads a lot, and there's a lot of guys having solid runs that it's fun to see them marching up into the top 10. You got Ricky Carmichael, another top 10 run for him. Greg Pursley back in the 9th spot. Stacy Compton solid. James Busher up to 6th. Justin Lofton, a great run for that truck.
Could equal his career best. Certainly. He got back at Dover.
A lot of good stories. We saw Mario Gosselin in the top 10. Sieg, Starr racing along with him. Chris Eggleston's taken a rave around, a lucky dog, and parlayed that all into a top 15 run so far.
And Brian Eichler's got a couple lucky dogs and ends up with a top 15 run going.
They've been in a wreck.
Big time.
Yeah.
Austin Dillon trying to make this story all about him this weekend, although his brother tried to steal the limelight last night when he ran in the ARCA Racing Series.
To better his younger brother, he's going to have to win the race. Ty started on the pole in the ARCA Racing Series race, finished 2nd. Austin started on the pole, and the only way he can top Ty is to win the thing.
Get to victory lane.
The last couple of laps, Sauter's closed some ground. He's got that thing down to just a little over a second. We saw that lead up to close to 2 seconds. 1.29 that last time by, so I know Austin's probably saving a little bit of gas and taking it easy. He's only got to make 6 more laps, but Johnny's keeping him honest. Johnny Sauter's the first truck in his rearview mirror. He can see him back there.
Coming up to the stripe, it'll be 5 laps of racing to go for Austin Dillon. The last time the number 3 in the truck went to victory lane, it was Brian Reffner at Texas back in 2000.
And that was not an RCR number 3 truck. That was actually a Menards number 3
John
truck.
Menard owned the truck, and it went to victory lane again in 2000 with Brian Reffner behind the wheel. Now can Austin Dillon, with just 4 laps to go, get to victory lane for the first time in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
Johnny Sauter lobs another 1/10 of a second off of his lead. You see Austin running up the high side of the racetrack, getting around Eichler, putting him a lap down.
Jason White is slow up ahead of these trucks, coming off of turn number 4.
Not up to speed as he crosses the stripe just in front of the 3. He's got a right front tire down.
That may bring some debris on the racetrack.
And the caution comes out, so he's going to have to do it one more time. Can Austin Dillon hold off Johnny Sauter? It looks as though we will have potentially a green-white checkered finish in Iowa.
Well, it's definitely going to be green-white checker, and right now there could be nobody any more disappointed than that bunch right there on the Bass Pro Shops toolbox.
Just in front of the 3 of Austin Dillon, the right front tire goes down for Jason White, and that brings out our 7th caution of the day.
Right in front of the, right down the front straightaway, you can see when that tire blew, a lot of debris coming off of the right front of Jason's truck.
NASCAR had no choice but to throw the caution. I mean, there was absolutely nothing they could do about it. What a horrible potentially horrible break for Austin Dillon after dominating this race. But hey, that's why we run the full distance on these things, maybe even a little bit over.
Let's see how
heart
smart
rate just went up.
Let's see how
this is
smart
gonna be
you
fun.
guys are. Do you choose the inside line or do you choose the outside line?
Outside for sure.
Outside worked for him the last time. Johnny Sauter had a really good restart.
And remember, he's in control of the start, too.
Look at all that debris going onto the racetrack. Yeah. So like you said, Phil, the only thing I don't like about the outside is he puts himself a little bit in Johnny Sauter's jeopardy. Johnny goes down in the corner and wants to wash up a little bit. Then what's he going to do? He's going to get run into and pushed out of the groove. So that's one negative to being up on top.
Brian Eichler, our Aaron's lucky dog, he'll get back on the lead lap, so that'll put it back to 15 trucks on the lead lap.
Remember, Johnny Sauter started on the outside, got the lead. Austin Dillon started on the outside of Johnny Sauter, and he got the lead. So,
but this is a green-white checker.
So
okay. When you go racing for a checkered flag, then maybe the game changes a little bit. Maybe Johnny Sauter gets a little bit more aggressive when you put him down on the inside of you.
The other thing that comes into play, Justin Lofton, Ken Schrader are in row 2. You know that the 13 of Johnny Sauter is going to be aggressive. He wants this win just as bad as anybody else on the racetrack. Will he get it by trying to push the 3 out of the way and using 8 tires?
That's a good question, Rick, and it's going to be fun to see because I believe in my heart that if Austin picks the outside, which I agree with you guys, that's the fastest lane. That's where he ought to go. But he'll have his hands full with Johnny Sauter down on the bottom, and if Johnny wallers up into Austin, then here comes Justin Lofton. The door's open on the bottom.
And Kenny Schrader's back there too, and this is not his first rodeo.
No, and Kenny Schrader's fast. He was closing in on the top 3 trucks when the caution fell. It looked like he's going to have a shot to make a run on Justin Lofton when the caution came. So this is shaping up to be very interesting.
And we're glad you're here with us on Speed to enjoy this, the 10th race of the season for the Camping World Truck Series.
Did you remember that we're saving a little gas too? Oh, by the way, it's overtime.
We're going to overtime in the Camping World Truck Series from Iowa Speedway. Stay with us. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World. The Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back and better than ever. Camping World is offering more prizes and more chances to win. Visit campingworld.com and enter today. By the AARP Auto and Home Insurance Program from the Hartford. And by Toyota.
We're in Newton, Iowa, and we're coming to overtime. And you know what I love about double file restarts? Austin Dillon had to pull over to the right and let the guy running second drive right up the side. They're going to go down in the first turn side by side. Austin was leading the race, but not anymore. It's a tie at this moment.
Yeah, I think it's the right call.
The last restart, Austin Dillon chose the outside line. The driver that is leading the race has the opportunity. He can start either inside or outside. The first restart that he had Johnny Sauter, he had him on the outside. Well, Sauter took the lead. So the next restart, he decided, I better go to the outside, and he was able to hold on to that lead.
But he only did it by squeeze. You know, Johnny tried to squeeze him a little bit off turn 2, and Austin put his nose in the hole and made it work.
I think he needs to do something different. He needs to mix it up a little bit. Obviously, within the rules, within the zone.
We're about to find out.
Justin Lofton to the pits.
Justin Lofton turns hard left. Green flag in the air. Johnny Sauter with a great restart. Austin Dillon to the stripe first. We'll see how he does through 1 and 2.
I think Johnny Sauter right now is more concerned with his teammate maybe. He pulled down to block him. Austin's going to get the run off the corner.
There goes Austin Dillon. He has the run. Here comes the 88 of Crafton for second.
He's down at the bottom of the racetrack. Can he hold it down there? It looks like Crafton can hold it off Sauter. Sauter gets a run off the turn.
This time by. White flag will fly. Austin Dillon has the white flag. 1 lap to go for Dillon.
We know the next flag is going to end this thing.
And look at Dillon putting distance between himself and second place Johnny Sauter. Austin Dillon looking to become the second youngest driver to find victory lane in the Camping World Truck Series. Coming out of turn number 4, we've got another first-time winner in the Camping World Truck Series. Austin Dillon wins at Iowa.
And look at the crowd. They love seeing that black 3 truck take the checkered flag. Great job, Austin.
You heard a woohoo.
You call that. Hell of a job, Austin Dillon. You are the man, buddy. Hell of a job, 3 guys right here. It's all you.
I think it was a great call going to the outside on that restart.
What a great choice to take the outside line, and a great restart by Austin Dillon. Coming out of turn number 2, he surged ahead of the 13 of Johnny Sauter and gets his first ever win in